Happy Lent. Let me show you something I've been working on. There's a bunch of signatures from a book called St. Patrick's Manual. This book is dated, so let's take a look. I can't remember when. I believe it is dated, I don't know actually, I don't know when it's dated. The inside cover, which by the way, I think this is arsenic paper, so this is like super toxic. I try not to touch it very much, but it's dated 1883, and this belonged to a Mr. Harrison Colton from Lockport, New York. And it's dated February 23rd, 1883. So if you remember today, please say up a prayer for the repose of his soul. Harrison Colton is his name, from Lockport. This is the Niagara County of New York, but this is the front part of the cover, and it's just so ornate and beautiful. Amazing, just gold gilding, St. Patrick's Manual. If I had any sense, I would have had this book ready by yesterday, because it was the feast day of St. Patrick, and maybe I would have gotten some traction online somewhere, but I've lost a lot of inspiration, so please keep me in your prayers. But a friend that I admire a lot has been giving me a lot of encouragement, so thank him for that. And so that's the cover of the book, but I've had to kind of take it all apart because somebody did a really shoddy repair, and they just did it wrong. So I have to actually take apart all of the book and re-sew it. So I'll take a video of the start, and then I'll show you a progress video when I decide that I'm just gonna maybe take a pause from it, because it's gonna take a long time. But I thought you might appreciate that, and you know, happy Lent. Please keep praying for me. I am looking for work, but it is kind of slow. So we'll see you then. So I changed to a different room. I'm not in my office anymore. I'm in my little workshop corner. And I don't have enough purple cloth, so I haven't covered up St. Pius X. It's a stamp from the Vatican. They make 3 different demarcations of it, you know, different like costs. In that set. I think it was in honor of his canonization. But I purchased those and I gave those away to some friends, so we all have them. And there's a bunch of other things I have here, like my wife's missal that needs to be repaired. So look at that, it's just falling apart. May have to do some sewing on this one. And this is an old missal, altar missal, that needs to get repaired. This is from the 30s, and this is like midway through the project. So I've reinforced the spine here, and so I gotta finish this one. I'm not sure if I want to just keep the outward appearance, because I think that's pretty historic, or if I want to just do something new. We'll see about that. I don't know, haven't decided yet. But this is how far I've gone on the sewing for this book, and this is how much is left. So it's about halfway. You can see that this is the imprimatur from John Cardinal McCloskey. So this is the 1800s bishop in New York, and that's how much I have left to do. But let's see, I'll help you in a second, my sweet. What do you need?
Because just get out.
Oh, okay. So let's see. There's still some line here, so I gotta finish the rest of that. But that's how far I got. And I wanted to show you these edges. I don't know if you could see it. So the edges are all gold. And they have what I think is called gimping. I think that's what they call it, gimping. So what they do is they take a brass roller, something like this, and then they go like this on the edges, and it leaves a pattern in the gold like that. So once it's all lined up together, you'll see it take shape like that. That's how far I got today. Let's see if there's anything interesting here.
This is so
Prayers. Forth comes the standard of the King. This is for Passiontide, the Holy Cross. All hail, thou mystery adored. Hail, cross, on which the life itself died, and by death our life restored. On which our Saviour's holy side, rent open with a cruel spear, of blood and water poured a stream, to wash us from defilement clear. O sacred wood, in thee fulfilled was holy David's truthful lay, which told the world that from a tree the Lord should all the nations sway. Most royally empurpled over, how beauteously thy stem doth shine, how glorious with its lot to touch those limbs so holy and divine. Thrice blessed, upon whose arms outstretched the Savior of the world reclined, the balance sublime upon those beam, upon whose beam was weighted the ransom of mankind. So really beautiful stuff in here. Lots of other different hymns, but maybe when I'm finished, I'll read a couple of my favorite ones. I did see one that was from St. Bridget, which is pretty cool. I hardly ever see anything that's written about St. Bridget, so pretty cool. So that's the sewing. I don't know if you could see it. It's kind of dark in here, but halfway done. All right, here's our man, Mr. Harrison A. Hatfield Colton. Now, when Harrison Hatfield Colton was born, that was the 7th of March, 1848. And he was born in Clarence, Erie, New York, or Erie, New York. Excuse me, I'm being a little Jamaican here. Erie, man. He was born in the U.S. His father was Erasmus Colton, and he was 30, and his mother, Mary, a.k.a. Polly Cassidy, was 24. He married Alma E. Mitchell on the 9th of November, 1870 in Royalton, Niagara, New York, and they were the parents of at least 2 sons and 3 daughters. He lived in Royalton, Niagara, New York for about 15 years, and then he died on the 2nd of June, 1914 in Lockport, Niagara. And let's see what else he has here. He was 66 when he died, and he's buried in the U.S. So if you are watching this, say a prayer for the repose of his soul, Mr. Harrison Hatfield Colton. And